Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being American in YouTube Ronin. I'd like to welcome you to my review of the recent spy thriller Black Bag, which I saw about a week and a half ago. I do want to say hello to those of you currently joining on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Please hit the like, share out the stream. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. This is the road to 6,000. That is the goal for the year. I want to say hello to Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Cleary. All right. This is a review of the film Black Bag, starring Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, Reed-Jean Page, Naomi Harris, Tom Burke, Marissa Abela, and Pierce Brosnan. And it is the second team-up of the year of director Steven Soderbergh and screenwriter David Koepp. This is the other film being the Poltergeist story Presence. Decent film. One I would recommend. I think it's a pretty solid rental on its own. Didn't review it. Maybe I will sometime down the line. But worth a look. The synopsis for this film is as follows. When intelligence agent Catherine Woodhouse is suspected of betraying the nation, her husband, also a legendary agent, faces the ultimate test of whether to be loyal to his marriage or to his country. All right, so this is a non-spoiler review because I want everybody to kind of find this movie on their own. And it is a movie with many twists and turns. Your allegiance to one character over the other is going to shift throughout the film. But it starts off where you have George Woodhouse, who is Michael Fassbender's character. He is approached by another fellow agent by the name of Philip Meacham, played by Gustav Skarsgård, who you may recall was Floki in the Vikings TV series on the History Channel. Meacham tells Woodhouse that there is a mole inside of MI6, and he has a list of agents that have the means and opportunity to have access to this piece of information that has been leaked to the opposition, let's say. And Meacham informs Woodhouse that his wife is among the suspects. And as we find out a little bit later, she has been told by another informant that he is is a suspect in this. So it becomes kind of a game of cat and also cat. Who can they trust? Can they trust each other anymore? Can they trust any of the people who are working with them? And it becomes this this game of, you know, who can be trusted, what piece of information can be trusted, and it becomes this very, I don't want to say paranoid because that's too strong a word, but everybody's kind of minding their P's and Q's around everyone else. So basically, what happens is you have the film bookended by these two dinner scenes, and where it's kind of the situation of, I've brought all of you here tonight because one of you is the murderer, that kind of a situation, which I thought was kind of a nice way to bookend it, really. But throughout the movie is basically this series of interrogations as Michael Fassbender's character starts to, kind of winnow down the list of suspects. And how he goes about doing it is put me very much in mind of another British spy film that kind of had a very similar feel to it. And that, of course, was Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the John le Carré novel, which was done as a miniseries in the late 70s, early 80s, with Alec Guinness as George Smiley, uh, who's, again, a character that is tasked to find a mole within his organization and to expose this individual. And this has a very similar kind of feel to it, and pacing. Of course, Tinker Tailor was remade. Uh, wow, I get probably about 10 years ago now, 10, 15 years ago now, with Gary Oldman as George Smiley. I highly recommend seeing that version as well. Um, and that's basically Michael Fassbender's character in this film. He's basically um, the George Smiley of the film, of this film, and it's kind of interesting because he very much fills the role of George Smiley, and I got to think that's probably why he's called George. Um, and but he kind of looks like Harry Palmer, um, who is a character that Michael Caine played in a movie called The Ipcress File, and uh, he went on to do a few other films as that character as well. I want to say hello to Shadow of the Raven, joining us from the UK. So sorry I'm late. Uh, Saw this, thought this was a fairly good movie. I agree. I think this is one of the best movies of the year. And it is so. I know there are people who call this movie boring because there's, granted, very little action in it. But you got to understand, this movie is not about action. This is a detective story. These are professionals who are good at what they do. And as the film progresses, you find out that everybody does have something to hide. All right, that makes them look more guilty. And really plot wise, I don't want to say much more than what I have. Everything I've explained happens in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the film. And the stakes get raised, and this is very much, and this is what reminded me of Tinker Tailor, because that was not an action film either. It was very much It was very much a character driven piece. And that's what this is. This is a character piece. And as Shadow of the Raven says in the chat, yeah, it's unpredictable. You don't know where this is going to go. There are going to be times where you will trust one character over another, then your allegiance will shift. And that's the part of it that makes it interesting, you know. And also the fact, hey, you have Pierce Brosnan in this movie. You have James frickin' Bond in this movie as well. So, that just adds to the fun. I can tell the influences on this movie. And don't let this movie go unseen. It is one of the best movies of the year. It's certainly one of the most well written movies I've seen in a while. Um, and hello to Big Al Presents. I am going to be joining Al in about 2 hours for Films with Friends. And we are going to pay tribute to the late Val Kilmer with his first movie, the comedy Top Secret, from the makers of Airplane. Says, this film is on my watch list. Yeah, I highly, highly recommend this movie. I am rating it 4 stars out of 5. This is definitely a buy it on 4K film. Very well written, great characters, very edge of your seat, and that's what makes it interesting. Is that, like I said, there is very little action in this movie. It is a dialogue driven, character driven film, and no, that's okay. That's okay. We've all been busy. I was late getting here because I had to work late. So don't worry. You didn't miss too much. Everything I've been involved in is still up on my channel. So if you want to catch up. Um, but yeah, just like I said, very little action, granted, but it is a character driven film. It is a dialogue driven film, and to me, this is an action film because of the dialogue and because it is so on point and is very cutting at times. I think this is one of those movies where it's kind of like Glengarry Glen Ross. The words are the bullets. you know, um, if that makes any sense to anyone. But yeah, this is an excellent film. I've been wanting to talk about it since I saw it. This is the first opportunity I've had to review it. This is a non spoiler review. I do not want to give it away for you. Everything I've brought up, like I said, is in the first 10 minutes of the movie. So, and that's another thing. It's about an hour and a half. It's 93 minutes. Credits included. So it moves at a pretty good clip, and there's no fat on it. Every scene is important. Every line of dialogue is important. There's something that you might miss at first that will come back later in the film and become important. And like I said, it's kind of it's very much spy versus spy. It's not cat and mouse; it's cat and also cat. And I had a lot of fun with this movie, and it like I said, this is definitely once it hits physical media, pick this movie up. If it is playing in theaters still where you live, go to see it. Um, if you find it on streaming, because I think it is on VOD now, purchase it. You won't go wrong. This is up there as one of the best of the year so far. And it's going to have to be quite a movie to knock this off. So I think I might be talking about this movie again on another show at the end of the year, called the the best movies of 2025. I think this is going to be there. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for this review. Check the movie out. Um, Great cast, well directed, tightly edited, great characters, well written, fast paced. Shadow of the Raven says, wouldn't mind a sequel. If it's as good as this, I'll take it. Not sure about the sequel to The Accountant. Looks too comedic. I thought the trailer for The Accountant 2 looks good. I'm looking forward to that movie. It comes out in a couple of weeks. I'm going to see it as soon as I possibly can after it's available for release. And once I do, I will come back and I'll give you a review. But in the meantime, 2 thumbs up, way up for Black Bag. And I'm hoping this at least gets a screenplay nomination. I think it deserves it. And all of the leads are great. You know, this movie has a very small kind of core group of characters. You get to find out a lot about them over the course of the film, and it's pretty well done. I cannot sing this movie's praises enough. We need more movies like this. And if you like this and you've never seen Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, check that out as well. Either version, especially the one with Alec Guinness. Check that out. Check out the Gary Oldman version. The Black Bag is very much in the vein of Tinker Tailor, the Ipcris File, movies like that. And I think this generation deserves kind of their own spin on those stories. And you can't go wrong with this one. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I want to remind everyone. Yeah, I like Gary Oldman in that as well. He was very good. He got Oscar nominated, well deserved. So yeah, I want to remind everybody to stay tuned. In about 25 minutes or so will be my long-awaited Snow White review. This was by request, and you will finally get that review. So everyone stay tuned. From HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy. Join me for my Snow White review in 25 minutes. Check out Black Bag. It's a good one. This is how we win. I want to thank Connie Owl and Shadow of the Raven for joining me in the chat, and everyone watching on X. JPRPH1 joining us right at the end. You have just enough time to check out this review, my Snow White review, at 6:30.